now listening to WMG Podcast, Building and Cultivating Excellence. Thank you. You are now listening to WMG Podcast, Building and Cultivating Excellence. Thank you. You are now listening to WMG Podcast, Building and Cultivating Excellence. Thank you.
Heroes, villains, a tale as old as time, and the never-ending battle to protect truth and justice from those who thrive on chaos and bloodshed. Come with us as we peel back the mask on your beloved Crusaders of Light and dive deep into the dark and twisted abyss of your most feared and hated harbingers of doom. Follow your host, Power Maximus, and everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, as they take a trip down the rabbit hole that is everything super. So, are you a hero or a villain? Either way, find that super suit and suit up for the Super Breakdown.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I just wanted to pop in real quick and talk to you guys about something real fast. So, as you probably saw in the beginning, as we were getting set up, as we were starting up, the Super Breakdown now officially has our very first sponsor. I'm really happy. We're really happy. We're really grateful. W energy drinks. Not even energy drinks. They're like a energy blend. So it's just like kind of like a pre-workout. But yeah, man, we're super excited, super excited going forward with this. For all of our workout nuts out there, all of our gym rats out there, definitely we have a 10% discount going on right now for everything that's in their store. Don't worry, I've gone through, I've checked the prices, I've made sure that each one of them actually works. So, yeah, so we're really happy. All the promo code works. Get 10% off everything in their store. They got shakers. They have a bunch of different flavors for their energy drink. Interesting kind of flavors. I do agree. There's one called Big Energy Tears, which I'm like, okay, but yeah, they have a whole bunch of crazy wacky flavors from dragon fruit and lemonade. They got dragonade to Beach and Peach, which is more, clearly it's a peach flavored. Then you got a right now it's sold out, but it's one of the highest rated ones. It's called Dub Sludge. I will be letting you guys know when they get that back in stock, and have you guys go on out and grab that. But yeah, they got shakers, they got apparel, hats, sweaters, stickers, t-shirts. They got the whole nine. These guys, they're up and coming. All the research I've done has pointed to these guys being an awesome, great company. The product being good, the product being great. Go check them out, w.gg, and I'll see you guys momentarily for the super breakdown. Ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello, hello. Hope you guys enjoyed our little promo. Hope you guys are happy that we now have a sponsor. Looks like Triaz's mic is still a little muted right now. Never mind, I lied. We are back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Super Breakdown. Apologies for starting off a little bit late today. It's been a long day. We've had a lot going on, especially with our new sponsors. I also personally wanted to make sure I had all their assets and all the information to be able to give you guys. I just gave you guys a quick little spiel. If you weren't here for that, well, I'll tell you about it later. But right now, without further ado, welcome all level 7s. Welcome back to the Super Breakdown. I'm your host with the most, the Red Wolf himself, Power Maximus, and we are here with everyone's favorite co-host and arachnid demigod, Lord Triage. What is up, brother, man?
Chillin', how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Because you know what month it is?
Oh, it is February.
February, sir. I should revoke that black card, sir. It is Black History Month. Everybody put one fist in the air. Solid. All right. I'm feeling good. It's Black History Month. Don't get me wrong. I go hard every day. I live Black history every single day of my life, every waking second. But there's something about this month where just the camaraderie and a lot of Black history that's not really taught in schools. A lot of little known Black history facts. All start spilling out all over social media, and I'm able to educate myself a little bit more on things that I really should be knowing about. So with that being said, we're going to start off this show right, and as we usually do, start off the week right. Sir, what is your comic book issue of the week?
My comic book issue of the week, going with Black history, is the lack of Black history being discussed within comic books.
Amen. Louder for the people in the back.
So we have had certain stories tied into actual events or certain things that have actually happened in American history.
Yep.
But there are a lot of
American issues or issues that have happened in civil rights history that have never been addressed or have never been gone back to, or you're not really taught about, like Power was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So like along the lines like in when it comes to like Isaiah Bradley and Captain America Truth, you know, a lot of what happens within that storyline is actual history. Just, you know, they skewed a little bit for the comic books with the whole syphilis situation and, you know, the government experiments and everything on black people, you know, the black people in that area.
yes.
So, you know, stuff like that. A lot of people don't know that.
Where you could literally look this up, where they were supposed to be being treated for syphilis, instead they were given placebos so the government could monitor and document how these men died from the disease for the next 50 years.
Mm-hmm. So they can research and study the disease itself. You know, they thought they were getting a vaccine for thought they were getting a vaccine for something, so they willingly took it, and yeah, and here we are now. Again, that's strange. So that's also something that's not taught in schools. It's not taught, you know, really anywhere. You got to look it up. You got to find these things yourself. So now, where are you going with this? What comic book issue are you bringing into this?
Well, my issue is the lack of education with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, in order for us to learn about the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, we have to take a character and tie it into the story, and then rework that origin so it fits the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Isaiah Bradley, American soldier, wanted to be all he could be, and lo and behold, thought he was getting a shot, and the government was experimenting on him to turn him into a super soldier.
Him and what, four or five other people of his in his squad.
Mm-hmm.
And then and not to cut you off, but they also, like, I feel like this comic also brings into like the long lasting effects, not just what happens within, you know, or what happens to that one person that these experiments are done on, but the long lasting effects, because now, you know, this also carries over for generations into, you know, into his grandkids, you know, and like it's equivalent of generational scars, generational trauma. And I feel you on that. Like, why do we have to look in a comic book to learn about these things? Bro, when I was crazy speaking about this, I didn't know about Tulsa.
Oh, the burning of Black Wall Street.
Yep. I didn't know that until I watched Watchmen.
Yeah.
And that led me to end up finding about all the other thriving black cities that somehow are just so happen to be underwater now.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's crazy when you have to put these stories into a comic book so your people are subliminally getting the education that they need and that they deserve. So I very much feel that deeply. Like it shouldn't be. This stuff should be all readily available to us, or even then more so taught to us straight up front. You know, but then might I add, on the other hand of it, it also feels like you have that generational trauma that has now been, how do you say, capitalized off of. Because now they're taking these stories, our people's stories, and putting them into a comic book to entertain others.
Well, like you said, going back to Watchmen, one of the original Minutemen was revealed to have been black, who was almost lynched by the police department, who was they were trying to send a message to him, only for him to take that noose and that hood that they put on his head and use that as a symbol of liberation for his people.
Yeah, we've seen that honestly throughout history and throughout entertainment, and of course, guys, we're taking a step back from the fun and everything, because at the end of the day, these things that got to be talked about. These things that have to be really talked about, because if they're not talked about, it just gets swept underneath the rug, and we just go about our days, walking around ha 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 ha, like on sheeple style,
Right? Like we keep
and
talking about this whole thing with them getting ready to do the X-Men.
mm-hmm.
And as we all know, that the X-Men were the niggas of the Marvel universe.
Say it to him. Say it to him.
Let me ask you a serious question, Power.
Go ahead.
As a kid, did you want to join the X-Men?
Absolutely.
Now, as an adult, are you joining the Brotherhood?
Don't you put me out there like that.
Listen, I'll say it. I would have everyone upset with all this militant blackness.
Hey, it's crazy because growing up as a kid, even because again, as we all know, and if you don't know, you will know now. In the X-Men, Professor X is Martin Luther King, and Magneto is supposed to be a representation of Malcolm X, and they're similar goals, but with two very different and contradicting values and ways of going about reaching their common goal. As a kid growing up, I looked up to Martin Luther King. I wanted to be, that no, we got to be strong, solidarity, together. And now I'm almost 30, and I'm like, fuck this, enemy is necessary. And
fist ball like Black Panthers.
Absolutely. I find myself every day hitting the Wakanda Forever, just crossing my chest. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna go and get mines. I'm gonna get mines one way or another. Any means necessary.
But I'm thinking like they could tie a lot more stuff like that from our history into that. Like, what a sundown town is?
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's actually still a few of those around. It's not enforced, but it wasn't abolished or illegal. So for those of you who don't know, matter of fact, no, Triage, I'll let you tell the people.
So for anyone who doesn't know, a sundown town was a region, usually around the areas of the South, where if you were an African American and you were caught out after dark, you could legally be lynched.
Mm-hmm.
And have your property and your materials taken from you.
Yep.
If you weren't killed.
Now, most places that were sundown towns, they have, gone back on that, abolished that, get rid of that. But there's some places that they don't enforce it, or at least I hope they don't. But it was never like re-looked at, like, oh, hold on, maybe we should go back and get rid of this rule or law. So technically, in some of these places, black people can be beaten, killed, and robbed, and the lawyer can be like, oh, it's a sundown town, it's illegal, we can do it, because their legislation never went back and got rid of it. There's whole black cities that have been essentially drowned, and now they're sitting underneath lakes. What's that lake? What's the lake called? It's actually historically haunted now.
Yes.
I can't think of the name, but yeah, and it's quite a few. There's certainly quite a few. But yeah, these are. But again, I'll take one side of the fence. I kind of feel like, if you, with the good intentions as the X-Men were created, we all know that, Stan Lee, he openly said, like, I wanted to make something that Black people can relate to, especially with everything that was going on. On the other hand of that, someone can easily look and say, so you took our struggle, our pain, and our strife and made money off of it? Huh. Hmm. I say I'm just playing devil's advocate. I mean that's not how I feel, but it can definitely most certainly be construed that way. And then I really feel like the one we really have very very few um kind of black role models in the one of the superhero variety, which we all know. um but yeah, I feel like that really brings us into the other half, this next part, with our geek gossip here. um Talking about black history, talking about black heroes, and talking about the issues within uh how do I want to say it? The issues within comic books when it comes to black heroes. And we got to talk about Milestone Comics. We want it's Black History Month. We're talking about superheroes. We got to talk about Milestone Comics. And for those of you who don't know, Milestone Comics is a black owned and black created, black hero comic book company that have made characters that are household names now, like Static Shock, for one. Who else we got? We got Static. Let me double check here.
Let's see. There was Hardwire, who was essentially um that universe's like War Machine, except his boss had fired him and took the credit for his inventions.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Blood Syndicate, who were all gang members from different gangs who decided to put their differences aside to work together for the better to change their neighborhood.
Mm.
Icon, for anyone who's
Oh.
seen Young Justice, you know about
Mm-hmm.
Icon and Rocket.
Yep. Icon and Rocket. And like they all, like, how like the Marvel has their universe, and then DC got their universe. Milestone had what they call the Codaverse. All their heroes were all based in and out of Dakota.
Yes.
Um and geez, yeah, they have a really dope encyclopedia. Virgil Hawkins, Static Shock, Rocket, Icon. And again, these are all heroes that we see now in mainstream media. Like you just said, we look at Young Justice, Rocket, and Icon are both predominant heroes within the Justice League. I'm still getting pissed off because we still haven't seen a Static Shock, a Static since back in the day. I don't know what's going on with that. I know we were supposed to. We see him, we're introduced to him, but we're not. We don't see him as like full on as Static Shock in Young Justice. I think it was like what, season 2 or season 3 when Cadmus was doing those experiments, and when is Cadmus not doing experiments?
It was actually the Reach.
Yep, the Reach. So that was 2. Right? Was it
Correct. It was season 2 Invasion.
Yep. And we see him. He's with Blue Beetle when Blue Beetle first gets his powers. And it's like, but we never get introduced, and we never see him fully brought out into Static Shock. Like later in the series, we see him flying around on the damn disc, but no costume and no logo, not even officially in hero status yet.
Yeah, I kept waiting to see the trench coat with the mask.
Right? That's what I was waiting for the whole time, and we never got it. We never got it. So I was just like, and especially now with them canceling Young Justice and canceling Titans, and I kind of feel like I'm never gonna see it. And this whole lineup that James Gunn has right now going on, it's God, we'll get to that later. But Jesus,
Man,
like
fuck James Gunn.
yeah, it upsets me, bro, because like I had his back. I was rocking with him when they tried to fire him from Guardians back in the day. I was rocking with him, but now he gonna do this. Now he gonna just walk up in here and just not hire Henry Cavill.
Yeah, he wasn't fired. He just
He
wasn't
just
hired
wasn't
back.
hired back. My
Nigga, that's the same difference.
yeah, exactly.
So
Point
when
is,
Marvel went to you, yeah, we're not gonna call you. Don't call us. You weren't fired, my nigga.
right, right. Like, come on, everyone had your back. He's a part of James Gunn is a part of the reason why Batista's like, I'm done with dreads.
Yeah.
Because he did all that, worked so hard, had this man's back, got him back in, and then he run off and do this. And it's like, come on now. Come on now. Where's the loyalty? Where's the respect? Oh man, this lineup that James Gunn is proposing is
Boo boo.
it's doo doo. I mean, only thing that I'm kind of interested in is, and I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for saying it, but I love Henry Cavill Superman. That's my Superman. But I'm interested to see what he's doing with this Superman Legacy. I don't really know too much about about that storyline, so I'm a little interested in seeing how they're gonna do with that. I don't know what made him think that this Blue Beetle movie is gonna be so amazing and so dope. I don't get it. No, I've always seen Blue Beetle as an awesome character, but I've never seen Blue Beetle with the ability to hold a whole movie on his own.
Uh
Maybe not
well,
Jaime. Maybe not Jaime. Maybe like the original Blue Beetle.
no, definitely Jaime Reyes.
No, but I mean, I just mean like, as in, if you bring it all the way back, he's old school. He has some villains and stuff like that. Jaime doesn't really have any villains. I've never, in my the amount of time that I've seen him, and again, maybe it's just my level of exposure to him. I've never seen him take on his very own big bad or even have his own rogues gallery.
Well, hold on. For two things with that. One, the big bad is as bad as they allow the bad to be.
It's true.
That's one. And then two, he could have a whole rogues gallery. It doesn't matter if his rogues gallery sucks.
You're right, and that's what I don't care. I don't care if his rogues gallery sucks. I just don't. Maybe again, maybe it's just my exposure. Maybe I just don't know what his rogues gallery is.
Because, like, for example, Spider-Man, even the characters that suck are still cool. Like, I would have never, never, ever picked Mysterio to be the villain in a mainstream movie. But they did it.
That's true. That is very true, because in the comic book, Mysterio is just he's a thief that just so happens to be a magician.
I wouldn't have picked the Vulture, but they did it.
No. I personally could. I can 100% see Vulture, because he fights Vulture more than he fights Mysterio, and Vulture can actually do some damage. I'm sorry, because if you look at the Sinister Six, who's your lineup on the Sinister Six?
Mine was the ones from the cartoon. So it was Dr. Octopus, Scorpion, the Rhino, Mysterio, Chameleon, and then Shocker.
Which is interesting, because mine actually included Vulture and not Mysterio.
Well, if memory serves me correctly, Vulture actually is on the actual team from the comics.
Yeah, so that's for me. That's that. Those are the ones that I knew. And for some reason, Scorpion keeps getting swapped in and out sometimes, and it's like he really shouldn't. Scorpion is actually he's actually a fucking beast. He's actually a pretty dangerous ass hero. I mean villain. But again, like you said, I mean, and then if you look in the movies, Shocker, like they completely bitched Shocker. They gave him damn near zero time. Damn near zero time. This man didn't even get. He wasn't even really able to get one shot off with the fucking electric cannon. I think he got like
Yeah.
one shot off, and then he got webbed up.
Well, listen, like I said, I think Tom Holland's a bitch. I was just giving that as an example. Like, even Batman. If you do Batman's lesser known villains, they still all work.
Yeah.
As long as they're cast correctly, the character is permitted to be the character, and there's no wild shit done that overshadows what they're actually doing in the movie. They're fine.
What did I watch recently when they did that? Where they actually took a character, one of their like really lesser known like villains, and actually made them a pretty fucking problem. Fuck, what did I just watch? I just recently watched something superhero, and they actually ended up doing that. I was like, who would have thought that this person would actually have been a problem?
Was it animated or live action?
Animated.
I'm not sure.
Shit, I'm gonna have to go back and look. But this lineup, Creature Commandos.
I get where he could go with that, and like I get the whole zombie alien buzz and everything going on with the monster universe, how that got canceled because of the failure with the Mummy. But it's one of the things like where I just don't think that's the best move. And I also think, like, now that I'm looking at it, James Gunn is probably trying to distance himself from the Marvel universe as much as possible. Because if you look at the MCU and then compare it to the Justice League, there are more than a few similarities.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
From
But
the
like,
team to the character to
Booster Gold, really though? But Booster Gold,
yeah. Once again,
I've heard.
I
I watched that shit and heard this man hyping up Booster Gold. Like, really? Everything you just said, nothing in what you said sounds cool. You should never even. He was like, yeah, the loser from the future. How are you hyping up the loser from the future? Like, how are you hyping up the loser from the future? Those words just don't sound right coming together in that enthusiastic tone. And like, but here's what throws me off about what he's doing, bro, because it doesn't make no sense. He says that he wants to have a clear, concise, conjoined world, both animated and live action, same universe.
yeah, him wanting to combine the TV with the movies, that made sense.
Yep.
I'm a little confused how he's going to combine the animation with it. That might be too much, but we'll see what happens.
So from apparently what he said, because he actually did describe it in the video after he said it, is that the voice actors who play the animated characters will also play them in the live action.
Well, no,
live action play them.
I gather that part, but we all agree there's certain things that just don't transfer well from video to screen.
Exactly, I do agree. But like I said, it's just I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna do it or where he's going with it, because none of these heroes have anybody in common. Because I get it, he's trying to distance himself from the MCU, but again, this is the problem. When Warner Brothers first started trying to do this and distance themselves from the MCU, this is what got them into the boo-boo that they're in now. Because all of MCU's characters, at some point or another, in the comic books, all fought together and all came together against a common enemy multiple times. So them trying to do the Justice League makes sense.
Well,
Makes 100% sense. But what do the Creature Commandos, Waller, Superman, Lanterns, the Authority, Booster Gold all have in common? It's all over the place to me. And not only that, remember they have Joker 2 coming out, which is a musical, and they have the Batman, the Rob Pattinson sequel coming out, which is even a part of the same universe.
you're right, it's not. So what I'm taking from that is that it's going to be one of those scenarios where I think that's going to be a little bit more government based from the characters he's picking.
Mm.
And I think like with them doing the whole thing with Amanda Waller, I think Amanda Waller's gonna have a lot bigger part in this whole thing. Like I said, I don't care for the fact they keep trying to make her the Nick Fury of the DC universe, but
They really are. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe it's all gonna tie together somewhere down the line.
you think The Rock's gonna come back as Black Adam and save everyone?
He better not. After I love The Rock. I appreciate Dwayne The Rock Johnson so much. I do appreciate him. I appreciate the drive, the power that he's put into everything he's done. To be a person of color and at that such level of height, it's awesome. I respect it so much. But god damn, he got bitched. My boys say he was gonna go to bat for Henry Cavill and lost his job too.
Yeah, you're no longer
Nah,
needed.
Henry Cavill, that's my guy. Nah, we're gonna get him this movie. You know what? You don't have a movie either. We'll talk about doing something later on down the line. That's why, bro.
James Gunn really left everybody holding their units.
He really, I will say, I respect that though. My boy came in and was blunt. What you have right here is shit.
Oh, so he comes in with all this big dick energy, talking about how he's saving everybody, but first he has to kill everybody. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Power, keep going.
Absolutely. He walked in and was like, listen, you're all trash. I'm gonna kill you all and I'm gonna put you all back together and you're gonna be better than ever.
He came in here on some Uncle Ruckus talking about, in order to save thyself, thou must hate thyself.
Oh, that is so bad, but it's so true. It's so true. Like, I don't know. I will say I am interested in Brave and the Bold though. I'm interested in this Batman Brave and the Bold that he's trying to do with Damian Wayne Robin.
I'm not a Damian Wayne fan.
I'm not either. I'm interested in how they're going to write it, how they're going to write this story. That's what I'm interested in. Because thus far we have seen zero. Okay, I can't say that. We all saw Shazam, but that's the only thing that we really have when it comes to children being in the DC universe. And I just want to see how they're going to work. Because again, this is going to be a whole new Batman. And this is also what's getting me pissed off. Why are you just saying, here's Batman, here's a Batman movie? With who? Who is this Batman? What universe is this Batman from, essentially? What has this Batman been through? Because as we all know, every Batman that we've gotten so far has been from a different stage in Batman's like history. The Batman that we get with Rob Pattinson is year one, essentially year one Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton Batman, he's been doing it for a little while. Ben Affleck Batman is right before the Dark Knight Batman, the old Bruce Wayne that just going around murking people.
That's the one that Ben Affleck was based off of.
Yeah, exactly. And he's right on the right there. So we're getting this is Ben Affleck's Batman is after the Jason Todd situation. And like, so where is his Batman at? Where is his Batman at? Because as we all know, there were quite a few Robins before Damian came along.
4 by my count.
Exactly. By the time Damian came along, there was already Jason had already became Red Hood and came back to the Bat family. Dick had already been Batman at one point already. Because Batman disappeared, come to find out the League had him. So Dick became Batman for a little while until they found Batman, and then years later, boop a doop a doop, Damian came along.
Mm-hmm. So did Talia technically rape him?
Oh, absolutely, she did. There's a few different ways that the story goes. There's one where it's like, it was like a test tube baby style. Then what else is the test tube baby style? And then there's she drugged him or hypnotized him or whatever like that, and they actually end up smashing. She carried it full term. And so the question then comes in, where is his Batman? Is this full Bat family Batman? Or is this dark brooding, I'm young, I'm invincible, nobody fucks with me Batman?
Nah, he's definitely got to be more seasoned because you figure that if they're gonna make Damian Wayne Robin, Damian Wayne has to realistically be somewhere between the ages of 10 and 18. He has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they try to have anyone younger than that play that sociopath, it's not going to work on the screen.
Exactly. It's not. Like I said, I felt from everybody was doing fucking,
and you
what's his
figure
name from Umbrella Academy 5.
Oh, 5, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody was saying I like that idea. That kind of worked for me. That kind of worked for me. But now I feel like he's a little too old now to really fit in that role. This would be like, 18-year-old Damian Wayne, I don't know. I just don't. I'm interested, not because I think it's going to be good, because I think it's going to be absolute shit, but I'm interested to see how they write the story.
Well, that, and it also depends on who is he dealing with. Like, if this is one of the things like where they're dealing with the League of Assassins, we've kind of seen that movie already.
Exactly.
Honestly,
so the only thing you can go with is the court.
Yes, I was just about to say I want to see him tangle with the Court of Owls.
Yeah, because then with that, if they're smart, which I know they're not, and clearly James Gunn has been shown that he's not, they will use this to go into the Court of Owls, and then use the Court of Owls to go into, you already know, my favorite DC storyline of all time. They could easily use that shit to go into Dark Knight's Metal, which apparently in Flash they're going with they're having Evil Flash wearing his Kryptonian suit in Flashpoint.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what happens.
I can barely deal with one Ezra Miller. Now I gotta deal with 3.
Cunt.
Like I can't. I can't, man. Now I gotta deal with 3 of them. And one of them's evil. Hell, one's already evil in real life. My bad. Sorry, hold on. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. Oh, it all makes sense now. It's all coming together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm very confused because they confirmed that Michael Keaton's back as Batman. They said that General Zod somehow back again.
That's not even what I was talking about.
Oh,
I'm
all
still
right.
talking to Ezra Miller's. There's multiple, thus they them.
Yes, yes.
It all comes together now. All makes sense now. All makes sense. But yeah, no. So yeah, Michael Keaton. But that's the thing. They said they were gonna have Ben Affleck come back too.
Listen, I wouldn't have appreciated Ben Affleck's Batman meeting Michael Keaton's Batman.
I wouldn't have either. I don't think any of the other Batman would really. I would appreciate coming in contact with Michael Keaton's Batman.
Well, here's the thing, and this is once again, this is depending on what version of the story you're reading. Technically,
They're the same.
well,
Technically, Val Kilmer and Michael Keaton Batman are the same Batman.
yes, there is a universe where those stories are no longer canon, and that's a separate the Joel Schumacher universe is something separate, where those two movies are something different. But if you're someone who grew up watching them, that's all technically one series.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Coolio was supposed to play the Scarecrow?
Yeah, I heard about that. I would have really enjoyed that.
Like who was making these casting decisions, man?
I would have enjoyed that because hell, I enjoyed Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I highly enjoyed Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Now, Tommy Lee Jones, I enjoyed Tommy Lee Jones as a Two-Face a little bit. Again, remember I was young. Remember, you're older than me. You're at the ending of the previous generation where I'm at the beginning of it. I enjoyed that. Like, even then, bat nipples aside.
Oh God, I'm in the nipples. It always goes back to the nipples for him.
No, not just me. Everyone. Every time I hear somebody talk about George Clooney's Batman, they always talking about the nipples. I didn't think it was that bad of a movie. Yeah, there's things I feel like definitely could have been fixed and changed. But like
Power. It was that bad of a movie. Listen,
I mean, the ice puns
nothing.
were way too much. I agree.
The cast was there. The cast was there, but just the way the movie was shot,
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that happened, the way shit got handled. If you were to sit and compare and honestly compare the original Batman with Michael Keaton to Batman and Robin,
I didn't say that.
but no,
I
but
didn't say that.
But here's my thing. Now, Batman and Batman Returns, those are damn near identical. They're very close.
Mm-hmm.
Batman Forever is different, but it was still acceptable to some people. Batman and Robin is just with Batman and
Again,
Robin. With Batman and Robin, I feel like I pissed into the wind. Okay, I got relief, but I wound up soaking wet.
oh, yeah. Like I said, I mean, I'm definitely absolutely not comparing it to Michael Keaton or shit. Hell, even Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer. Who was it? Which one had Jack Nicholson? Was it Kilmer or Keaton?
That was definitely Keaton.
And Kilmer had Penguin. No.
Keaton had Penguin.
Keaton had Penguin too. Who the fuck was?
And this man calls himself level 7.
No, I just smoked too much.
Oh,
I just smoked way too much.
Listen, playing with my comic facts is like playing with my emotions.
Dude, who the fuck did Val Kilmer go against? Was it Two-Face Riddler? And George Clooney had Ivy Bane and Mr. Freeze? There's too many goddamn Batmans. I'm pretty sure Kilmer had I don't fucking know. I don't know. There's too many Batmans too close in time. Some got 2 movies, some got 1. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because literally there's a long list of people that have played Batman. Question: Do you count Adam West? Because I know that there's some people that don't count Adam West as a Batman. Oh, I think his microphone is out. Anyways, I personally me, yeah, I like George Clooney as Batman. I did. I'm sorry.
How?
I did. I don't know. It's just there was something about the way that
That what about
Oh,
what?
I did. I thought you were about to say something. There's a way I feel like he held himself. He carried himself. And it's just like, yeah, no, I'm fucking Batman. The fuck? Thought you was gonna get over on me. I'll let you think you was getting over on me in the beginning, but in the end, and the one thing I feel like he definitely did defer from the Batman character is there's just certain characters that Batman didn't really give sympathy to. There's
Well,
certain characters he didn't give, like, because we don't see it often, but we have seen Batman show sympathy to some of his villains. Not on the level of Flash, but like, I felt like it was true to the comic books. There was one time where he was like, "Yo, Freeze, here, my friends at Wayne Tech, we figured something out. Here's a cure that for your wife. Maybe if you get her help, maybe you ain't got to be a bad guy no more." I don't know. And honestly, I liked his gadgets.
well, it was also one of those things like where Mr. Freeze is actually a more sympathetic character than the rest of them. Like you gotta remember,
It's true. It's
he
true.
was a devoted husband who loved his wife. Like in the process of them starting his family, the person he loved most got taken away from him. It wasn't like Scarecrow who was insane, or the Penguin who killed children, or Two-Face who was schizophrenic. Like he legitimately had a valid reason for doing the shit he was doing. So it's like he actually is like a more sympathetic character than the other villains. So that makes perfect sense actually.
And I don't really think I ever seen Freeze like outright actually murk anyone. He just never froze them, and they all end up getting thawed out later.
I think the only person he actually tried to kill was Ferris Boyle, and Ferris Boyle was the one responsible for trying to take his wife's body.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah, with that, and I don't know. I just felt like first off, I like George Clooney as an actor in general. For the not everything, not everything, not everything. But there's some roles I just feel like he kills it in, and not saying he killed it in that, but we got Batgirl and Bat Nipples.
Well,
Batgirl there.
well, this is something we were talking about too, because you know how I always argue. Anyone who knows me knows my favorite character is the Joker, and I always argue that there hasn't been a bad Joker. There's just been different performances.
Yep.
So we can even critique.
I could say that I personally can say that for the Batman. Oh, so my question was, I don't know if you heard me, but do you count Adam West?
Yes.
Thank God. Somebody said they don't count. Somebody told me they don't count Adam West, and I lost my shit.
If that person didn't grow up watching that series, I don't understand how they couldn't.
Hey,
So
I can't even, you can't even say that because I didn't grow up watching the series. I didn't grow up watching the series.
so when did you first see that series? How
I'll
old would
be
you say
honest
you
with
were?
you, I've never actually watched it. I've never actually
Really?
watched it. I just go off the respect level because that was the first time we got to see a live action Batman. So I always put respect on that man's name because without him putting on them spandex, that wacky ass looking suit and shit, without him doing that, we wouldn't have Christian Bale's. We wouldn't have gotten Heath Ledger's Joker. Unfortunately, we got Jared Leto's, but like without him and Romero, we wouldn't have what we have right now when it comes to the superhero world. So I'm like, you got to put respect on that man's name as being a Batman and the first Batman to do what he does. You know what I mean? So I lost my shit when he said that. So no, I never watched it, but I enjoy what we have now when it comes to superheroes. Yes, it's super saturated, but without Adam West putting on that suit, we wouldn't have what we have today.
Well, it's also in the dynamic of what the character is. Like Ben Affleck was the brawler. If nothing else, Ben Affleck had his fighting style down.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was more
yeah, you're right. He really did.
like he was more gritty. He'd been at it for a few years. He knew what type of time he was on. Niggas knew when they saw the bat. Oh, that's your ass. Like Christian Bale, he had the fear factor. Him disappearing in a room full of people, the way he interrogated people. Like you saw that whole league training like get put to fruition, and like the whole messing with the modern with the old school with the whole thing with the study of jiu-jitsu, like that was cool. Like I would say Val Kilmer's Batman to me, and this is just my opinion, and no one crucify me for this. Val Kilmer's Batman had the most, I want to say, subtle intelligence out of them.
I agree.
Like he had a certain level of brilliance, like you saw when he squared off with the Riddler. That I thought, like, okay, you get to see the part of him that is brilliant because you don't get to see that with no other Batman.
You're absolutely right.
Say what you want about Christian Bale's Batman. In hindsight, Christian Bale's Batman was dumb.
Yeah, Lucius made all his shit, but in reality, if you look at the Kilmers, he didn't have a Lucius Fox. He had him in the cave with Alfred. He made his gadgets. He figured it out how to do this, how to do that. He made whatever antidote for whatever the Joker was fucking with, whatever Riddler was fucking with. So I most 100% agree with you. I feel like Val Kilmer's was most definitely the smartest. I feel like if all the Batman, if you take everybody that had portrayed Batman, all the portrayals of Batman, and put them into one, you have the perfect Batman. That's just how I feel, because you got the intelligence, you got the detective, you got the brawler, you got Rob Pattinson, which is all the mental issues that he has. Man watched his get murked out in the alleyway and got traumatized by falling into a well with bats. There's some mental issues there, so I feel like each Batman that we've seen throughout the years is a different aspect of the overall Batman and what Batman is and what he's supposed to be.
Like, to me, Adam West was the Saturday morning cartoon Batman. He was above and beyond, but he was also fun. He was cool. Like he had the fact he had a gadget for everything. And then you got Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton to me was the most well-rounded. And I give him the tech aspect of it.
Yeah, he really did have some dope ass tech.
From the way he had the Batmobile tricked out with the shields to the shit he was using in the fights.
Shit, I forgot about the bat shield. I should just went in complete like safe armory mode, the whole shit. Even they armored up the tires. Nobody could pop the tires or anything.
Well, a little comic book fact. That's how he first meets Jason Todd. Jason Todd was still on the rims of the Batmobile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
He literally came back and the Batmobile was on bricks.
where the hell was he? Compton?
Right? He was like, "Are you gotta be kidding me?" And then he walks around to the back of the car and he sees Jason.
That boy got some balls. That's ballsy as shit. You know he would have got so much rep. So much rep for, hey yo, I got the Batmobile's rims.
Nigga, please, you got what?
Nah, son, you keep those. It's on some John Wick shit. Nah, I'm good. Keanu Reeves for Batman. I'm just saying, like,
I mean, he did it in Super Pets.
oh my god, he did. Huh? He did. That's weird. That's weird. I totally forgot about that. I don't even want to kind of talk about that movie. That movie was good yet bad at the same time. It was strange. It was very strange. Anyways, but yeah, no, I feel like so if you move, so let's say it this way: if you were to take Michael Keaton's Batman, but then add the other Batman to the Michael Keaton Batman, I'd say you'd end up with the animated series Batman.
Say that again?
I feel like you end up with the animated series Batman because I feel like the animated series Batman was and is the best iteration of Batman.
Yes.
So you take Michael Keaton, you add Rob Pattinson, Ben Affleck, George Clooney, Val Kilmer, Adam West. Am I missing someone? Christian Bale. You add all their portrayals of Batman to Michael Keaton, I feel like you have the animated series Batman. He was smart. He was traumatized. Gadgets galore. Could get himself out of anything and everything. But he still had that sympathy towards certain villains. Like hell, bro. You see the way he got out of captivity with Cheetah? My boy hit on a whole furry. Hit on a whole furry to get out of captivity. Like, come on now. Oh, we can't add the comic book Batman. The comic book Batman is a complete hoe.
Oh my God. Once again, I feel like we're getting off topic here.
But if you really look at it, like we talked about this before, this man Batman has slept with all his damn near all his female enemies, whether by choice or not. I can't even say that because him and Talia consensually slept together at one point. So I'm just saying, I'm pointing that out. Oh, so to transition, before I end up forgetting, we're talking about bats. Bats are also really, talk about vampires when you talk about bats, vampire bats. What you always talk about with vampires, you talk about werewolves. So now talking about Teen Wolf, we're talking about werewolves. Sorry, I had to give it some kind of connection before I just transitioned like that. This this Teen Wolf movie got me heated. I am legit heated. I
I've got
really feel like they just took from the Nugitsune arc and just said, "Here, we weren't done with the arc. Here's more." No, there was zero original story to it.
I was genuinely confused
Genuinely confused.
because they brought a whole nother Kitsune in. Just fuck the
Well,
one that they had in the pack.
remember, wait, hold on. That made sense to me because remember, she's with the Skinwalkers. She can't come back. They'll let her come back for that one.
Oh, please. They could have figured out a way to do it.
They
They
always do. They always
hold on.
do.
So wait, hold up. We got to do this. Hold on. Spoiler alert. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goonga Calabunga. They brought back Allison Argent.
Oh, good catch. Shit, yeah, good catch. Yeah, you're right. They did. That made zero sense to me. And that was the whole main premise of the movie.
Like the movie also extremely suffered, in my opinion, for not having Styles in it.
Oh, I thought he was gonna pop up at the end like he did in the last episode of the series.
Nah, that movie really
No.
suffered for him not being in it.
It's separate because it's crazy. This is literally like this is absolutely the support character syndrome, where you have a show, you have the main character and the support character, but the support character outshines the main character. Everyone likes the support character more than they like the main character. I like Styles way more than I liked fucking whatever his name was.
Scott?
I know his name, but yeah, it's to that point. It's to that point. It's really
No,
to
I
that
don't know
point.
about that one.
I personally did because I feel like Styles at no point, almost no point, was ever like, "Yo, we can't win." Do you know how many times this man Styles has came? You know how many times this man Styles has came through in clutch.
Mm-hmm.
When the Ghost Riders took over Parrish. That man came at the cut with the metal baseball bat. Bing.
Shit, from that incident to him stopping Scott from lighting himself on fire.
Yes. No, I'm not gonna lie. That was the one. That was the one episode that really actually had me drop a tear. Because that episode was deep. That was a good ass fucking episode. And then they didn't have a lot of good episodes, like awesome, amazing out of this what episodes. They had some good episodes, but that episode stands out of the most for me. That episode the most stands out for me. But like, I don't know, man. It's just all right. Let me hear your take on the movie. Let me hear your take on the whole movie. Spoiler alert. Let me hear your take on the whole movie.
I thought them keeping the fucking jar behind the bar was fucking stupid.
Thank you.
Why wasn't that shit locked in some triple maximum impenetrable vault?
Mm-hmm.
Like the way the fucking Hales had their money. Like that didn't make no sense to me.
Here, let me add to that real quick. The first time we see the Triskelion fucking jar, it's buried in a safe under the school, and all it had was his mother's claws. You have a whole demon in there. You got it sitting on the counter in the back behind the restaurant.
Right?
Like, how does that make sense? They had that shit super secure just to keep the claws safe. You have a whole god in a jar, and you gotta sit next to the soy sauce.
Bugging.
No pun intended. Because he was a firefly. But yeah, jar behind the bar, stupid. That's one.
That's one.
Fuck it, we going full cinema sins. Let me get a pin. We're going cinema sins. Where's the sin counter at? Full cinema sins on this shit. Oh, you can go ahead. I didn't really find a pen.
I want to know. I want to know where the context where I want to know who the fuck is the mother of Derek Hale's kid.
Thank you. Zero context. Zero context. Zero fucking context with that one.
And I appreciate him being a fire inspector. Granted, his family died in a fire, but
Wait,
so
what?
that was a little.
Did I miss that? When was he a fucking fire inspector?
Yeah, that's why he was at the fires.
Derek was
Yeah,
at the fires?
Derek Hale. Remember how they kept having the patterns burned into the ground, the circles?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't
yeah.
remember Derek being there. Only
He's
time
at
I
the
remember
he's
seeing
at the
Derek.
first one. He was like, I called an expert. And like he could tell, like there was there wasn't accelerant, but it wasn't gasoline, or it wasn't this, or it wasn't that. It
Oh
burned and it got put
shit.
right out.
Yeah. All right. I remember now. That shit
Then
that shit happened so fast I didn't even catch it.
the whole thing with his son repeatedly stealing Styles' Jeep, like that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, there was zero connection within that.
Now if that had been Scott's son stealing Styles' Jeep, okay.
Makes 100% sense.
Okay.
That would have made sense. We're at 3 right now, and we're only in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
All right. And I appreciate while people moved away from. I appreciate that everyone moved away from Beacon Hills, and they're more or less successful or found steady paths. But it's also one of the things like I'm confused to like the dynamic of the pack and the relationship, because I get that they all couldn't stay together because that's not life and that's not the way it works. And his pack isn't a conventional pack.
Mm-hmm.
But who actually even still is in his pack that gives him his power?
Right? Because an alpha is only as strong as his pack.
So Derek Hale never really acknowledged him as the alpha. Derek was never part of his pack.
Mm-hmm. Until the end. Which no, we'll get there. We'll get there.
So
that made zero fucking sense to me at the end. But we'll get there.
he has his beta Liam.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it hard to believe in 15 years he hasn't bit no one else and made another beta.
Not only that, this nigga Liam was living in Japan.
Like, which is also mad random, but okay. I'm not gonna go along with it.
Where are we at now? That's 5?
Let's see. Then you got the whole thing with Allison, because she was technically a banshee.
Mm-hmm. No, not Allison. The whole thing with
Lydia, sorry.
Yeah. And I make zero that I did enjoy that she went into a profession where she could use sound as like an alternative method for fuel switch. I did like that. I did enjoy the fact that they gave them each kind of like a profession that fit with what they were doing, and what it fit with who they are or what they were.
I'm mad that you didn't see the other alpha twin, the Ethan.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact you didn't see Theo.
Oh shit, I forgot about him.
The one that was the Chimera, yeah. Because remember, they ended the original series with them having to deal with all those people who were trying to hunt them and kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them people survived and never even said what happened to them. Like whatever happened to Allison's grandfather.
Wait. She killed him.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, what's her name? Her aunt. Her aunt killed him. So it's Gerard's in the bunker, and fucking why am I forgetting his name? He's actually one of my favorite characters. Whatever. Mr. Argent walks in and he starts talking shit. Blah 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 blah. You really thought you were gonna do this and that. And then his sister creeps up from behind, the were leopard, Kate. And Kate kills him because He turns around, Gerard turns around, it's like bang, pops her with the yellow, supposedly pops her with the yellow wolfsbane. But I think he said, haha, whatever. I swapped it out, switched it out. Because which made no sense because he said he saved enough for her, but I thought he only had one bullet in which he gave to the black chick to shoot Scott. That's neither here nor there. Point is, after he shoots her, they're talking, he's like, you know what? It's all good. We're your filming right here. But it's something, and he's like walking out. And you hear, and as he walks out around the corner, she actually gets up and she transforms and she mauls him and kills Gerard. So she commits patricide. Technically, they both commit patricide.
I'll have to go back and rewatch that again. But yeah, and then I don't know, like I get that they tried to give people establishments, like the black kid out, he went and joined the sheriff's department, and then you see the hellhound was still messing with the coyote. But it's like
they were all really, you were right, bro. They were all just fucking each other. Yeah, the last time we see, it's Scott and her are fucking.
Yeah.
That's just wild because
that's why they had that awkward reunion.
It's all awkward because if you look at it, everyone has fucked everyone in that group.
Like I said, I think the only two people who haven't smashed are Scott and Lydia.
I think that's only by plot. Only by plot armor. Because Lydia was fucking with Jackson in the beginning. She was also fucking with Ethan. No, not Ethan.
Aiden.
And they're fucking the same person. They're the same person. And then now Jackson is fucking Ethan. Well, married, I believe, to Ethan. Lydia fucks Styles as well. And Styles fucked. What's her name? What's the coyote's name?
Malia.
Fucked Malia. Malia also fucked Scott, and now apparently fucked Parrish. And Parrish fucked Lydia. I think they only no because we were talking about in the pack. Cool, yeah. So Derek and Peter don't count.
That's another thing, man. Yo, like Peter Hale just pops up and he instantly gets trust again, and I can't listen. I can't.
Not even that, because he popped up on his same bullshit. Because the Peter Hale at the end of the show is a very different Peter Hale than in the middle of the show.
Agreed.
They trusted Peter more at the end of the show than they did when around the middle of the show. They started trusting Peter after the Ghost Rider shit. They gave him more trust after the Ghost Rider shit. Because he actually was a part of helping them out and saving the town. He actually played a really big fucking role in that. He actually saved Styles' life. He's actually saved Styles' life a few times. But the character that they had Peter portraying was that, I'm only out for myself. Screw everyone else. I have no emotional connection to any of you people. But by the end of the show, Peter was actually trying to be a dad.
Yeah, he was.
He legit ran up her and was like, yo, me and you, let's get the hell out of here. She's like, what? He's like, listen, I got you a car. Let's go. He literally went out of his way to get her a fucking like limited edition car so they can leave together. Like, but this version of Peter just like it was like he was like absolutely emotionless. He's like, I'm here to kill. That's the only reason you guys got me here, so I can kill people. You know, and by the end of the show, you felt bad when he got turned to stone by the how do you say it? How do you say it? Akuna Matata, the Kumate
Did you say Akuna Matata?
the Kunanite, whatever the hell the thing is, the shit that was turning people to stone. You actually felt bad when you see him get turned to stone because you know that he has good intentions. The one time he's actually doing something that's not for the benefit of him, you're like, fuck, he got fucked up. Like there was just so many things in this movie that just made no sense whatsoever. Like, so this whole divine thing, so this whole thing was literally the Ogitsune playing that Pai Gao, whatever it was, whatever game it was. It was literally him doing the same shit he did the first time we ran into him. And it just so happened. So here's my thing. How was he able to manipulate Lydia into writing out the instructions for this whole ceremony to bring Allison back in the first place? How was he able to do that? He manipulated this whole thing, and then I don't even remember who the fuck the teacher was. The dude that was helping him orchestrate the whole shit. I don't even remember. I don't remember who the fuck he was. What season was he from? I know he's not from the Dark Druid season. Like I'm so confused on who he was. I remember they had a few teachers that was doing shit that they weren't supposed to do. Oh, he's the teacher that the other teacher sacrificed. Yeah, now I remember. Now he caught the garrote around his throat. Okay, never mind. I remember now. Yeah, man, just the show in the beginning. In the beginning of the show, it was an A. It was an A for me. By the end of the show, I feel like the show had dropped down to about a B minus, maybe even a C. Oh, but that movie was most definitely a D. It was most definitely a D minus to me. And we're not even talking about everything that was wrong with the movie right now. Because, like, at the end of it all, when, spoiler alert, when Derek sacrifices himself, his eyes go from blue to red. So what, did he just miraculously become an alpha again? Oh, maybe he became a true alpha. There's too many questions. So, like, he turns to him and says, he's a part of your pack now. I'm like, wait, you don't get to do that. That's not how that works. That goes against all the rules that you have already set upon in this show. You can't just tell him that somebody's a part of your pack now. One, the person has to want to be a part of the pack. And then two, the alpha has to accept him into the pack. You can't just be like, he's in your pack now. You can't just do that. I don't know. We've completely got off a complete topic of everything that we were trying to do in this whole damn episode. I don't know if you realize we didn't even go to the character breakdown. We just went straight for the franchise breakdown. Shit. Oh man, that's bad. Um, but yeah, that was your geek gossip. We kind of went off on a whole rant, whole side tangent on that. But there's just been a lot of shit that's been pissing us off and really grinding our gears. So with that, we're gonna move along to we didn't even really do the franchise breakdown. But we'll do that when we get back from these quick messages from our sponsors. W.
You are now listening to WMG Podcast, Building and Cultivating Excellence. Thank you. You are now listening to WMG Podcast, Building and Cultivating Excellence. Thank you. You are now listening to WMG Podcast, Building and Cultivating Excellence. Thank you.
All right, and we are back. Again, just want to give another shout out to Dubby. Thank you guys for supporting us and sponsoring us. I look forward to doing more with the product. Look forward to more flavors, interesting flavors. There's also a caffeine-free version as well. But yeah. So before we went to break, I don't know if you heard, but what I was saying is like there was just so many things about this Teen Wolf movie that just didn't sit right with me, from the premise, the whole plot, to the Ogitsune, to the teacher that was supposedly had died because he caught a garrote through the throat, to his throat. I mean, I have a question. Did you realize who he was when you first saw him?
Yeah.
I didn't. That's how, because he wasn't even a main. He was just their teacher. That was an asshole that got sacrificed by the chick, by the dark druid.
Well, I want to know how the fuck he found out how to do this in the first place.
I wonder how the fuck he's still alive.
That too.
He was, and in that case, that makes a whole ass plot hole for that whole shit. Because it's like, a sacrifice is a sacrifice. A sacrifice means dead, died, deleted, deceased. So how did any of her spells or shit work if he died? If he didn't die, my bad. So
Great
he was
question.
in a plot hole. And then them battling in this nether dimension shit,
which was totally gay.
like that made zero sense. Zero sense. And then what was the point of him? Like, the teacher really did nothing but set the Nogitsune free and start fires to collect a ton of mountain ash. But here's my thing. Also, it's a little tidbit, but you're telling me Derek didn't realize that all the trees that were burned were Roanoke?
Right? And that's what you use to create mountain ash.
And here's the thing: if that circle was burnt, Roanoke trees, which is mountain ash, how is he walking through the circle that was burnt with all the goddamn mountain ash on the ground? Like the Oni getting in there, that makes sense. We've seen the Oni cut through the mountain ash barrier before. We've seen this.
You've also seen Scott McCall do it too.
Yeah, but only after becoming a true alpha. Actually, no, it wasn't after. It was during the process, because that's what turned him into a true alpha. Speaking of true alpha, what the fuck was that shit at the end with him getting his alpha eyes back? Derek getting his alpha eyes back in the end.
Maybe it's one of those things, like he said, he was evolving. He was from such a strong line. It might have been one of those things where Derek Hale might not even have died in like the in the traditional way of dying, because we've already seen that characters can transcend death.
Yeah, which I also believe too. I believe he's not really dead. But I feel like either one, in that moment they did some dumb shit and wanted, like, for some shock factor, oh, he's an alpha again. Or I think they did that as in that was his Scott moment. That was his moment, because the entire time he's always wanted to be an alpha, but he always felt like he had to steal the powers of an alpha. So I think that was him finally getting his badge of honor of, like, no, you're a true alpha now. You've always been an alpha. You just have never. You've just been so stuck on yourself and the shit in his past that he's never been able to transcend transcend that and become a true alpha. Because isn't that what was going on with Scott when he was in the thing? He was like, "No, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't do this. I can't do that. Blah blah blah. My past, this and that." And then when he got over that shit, he was able to transcend and overcome and become true alpha. I think that might have been Derek's true alpha moment. And
Oh,
so,
that's what I took from it.
if they did die, he died a true alpha. And what is a true alpha? An alpha sacrifices himself to protect his pack, and in his sense, protect Scott as well as his son.
Well, excuse me, it wasn't Derek that bit Sky. It was Peter, but
It was Peter.
yeah, but
No. I was just saying that it was what was it? No. Derek always felt that he had to steal the power of an alpha.
no. That's not even where I was going with that. I was going with the aspect of where technically Scott was made by an alpha because he was bitten by Peter Hale, but Scott never acknowledged Peter Hale or Derek Hale as his alpha. He never acknowledged either one of them. But Derek Hale did teach him everything he knew. So I think it was in that aspect where it was not necessarily clear cut, but he was like, you might not have been a beta that was of my making, but you are a beta of my teachings.
No, yeah, absolutely. We've all from the very beginning. I always saw Derek. Again, I always seen him as he was an alpha without the power, without the right. Without the birthright or whatever. Because even when he took in the all those beta wolves and shit like that, and even when he took them all in, even though they all got murked out and all got killed, he was still performing those alpha duties. I think he actually was an alpha at that time, because that was after he killed. That was right after he killed. That was like season 2, after he air quotes killed Peter. I don't know, but like I appreciated that. I most certainly appreciated giving Derek, because I thought he transcended alpha anyways when he was turned into the wolf.
I did too.
I thought that was it for him. I thought he was end all be all. That was it.
I thought like that was a whole nother promotion. I thought that when he transformed, and she even said it like, "How, you were dead?" He's like, "No, I was evolving." Like, come on, man. Like, once again, maybe it's just continuity issues.
Maybe no, it definitely was. There's definitely, this movie has a lot of continuity issues, like heavy continuity issues. Because then now the question is, now this is years after the ending of after the ending, the events of the ending of the series. What happened to the chick? You said that she was still out there. Gerard had this big plan to attack all the Nematons throughout the world, and she was still alive to carry out his plans. Whatever happened to her? Whatever happened to Alec? Whatever happened to the beta, or either beta or omega that he found at the end of the show, in the last episode? Whatever happened to him?
Once again, questions abound. And then like Jackson was in the shit, and Jackson didn't do shit.
He didn't do anything. He didn't turn at all.
Like I didn't get to see like a real knockdown, drag out fight. Like I was just.
Scott didn't save anyone. If anyone, the only person that was doing any real ass kicking in that was the Argents. Like he came through the portal with the deagle, bang, 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 putting holes in the Oni.
Like, silver, motherfucker.
Exactly. He's like, what? What is this? Silver, motherfucker. Bang, bang, bang. Like, he's the only one that got any real action besides Parrish getting smashing the coyote all the damn time. But
Yeah, and I love if actually runs around naked. That woman ain't never
yeah,
got clothes on.
she ain't never got clothes on. And it's cool. I do like the fact a little. I do like her acting because a little bit you can see her like she's always fidgeting with her clothes.
Yeah,
I do like that little tidbit. She's always fidgeting with her clothes. But one of them got me tight when you really
I'm all
look
here.
at it. This whole movie was essentially about Scott being able to have kids.
So they brought Allison back just so he can knock her up.
Exactly. Because that's what it was about. So remember when he saved in the beginning when he saved the little girl and saved the puppy or whatever. That's what he was talking about. He was talking about like kids and stuff like that. And that's when Deaton was like, I mean, you ever thought about having kids? You ever thought about anything like that? He's like, no. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I never thought about it. He's like, I just don't feel like I found the right one. You had a whole Japanese literal fox spirit, and you let her become a skinwalker. You can't see it again.
Yep.
But yeah, no, this whole thing, and at the end, he talks to her. She's talking to Allison. It's like, yeah. Second question: how are they gonna? Bro, they was at the whole funeral for Derek. Allison's in sitting up in there, and they got Coach in there. You think Coach ain't gonna be like Allison?
That motherfucker, he barely knows his own name.
That's BS. That is such BS. He is so much smarter. He is so much smarter. He knows that they're all werewolves, right?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he
Other
knows. There's
people,
there's there's a whole scene where he actually comes out and says, "No, I already know. I don't care. Just play the damn game." Something happened in the locker room or whatever, and something happened in the locker room, and they didn't know that he was in the office. And he walked out. He was like, "Coach, I can explain." He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're a bunch of horny teen werewolves. I don't care. Just get the hell out of my locker room." So he knew the whole time. He just doesn't give a damn. He just doesn't care. But I think at least he would have been like, how the fuck is this bitch alive? How is this bitch still alive? Like, anybody want to tell me what happened here? Like, I don't know. And how are they going to explain that? Like, how are they really going to explain that to anybody?
that Allison Argent is back. Well, here's the thing: they're not in school no more. So it's like, and not Derek, Scott McCall had moved away from Beacon Hills. So
Forgot
it's like
he was living in LA.
all he had to do was go back to LA, and Allison had to go with him.
Yeah, so they probably had Deaton make a whole new identity for her and shit like that. And
Or
yeah,
Allison Argent wasn't dead. Like that was part of a joint task force, so that where they had to hide her because of her dad's dealing with the military and him selling weapons, and it became an issue of an arms dealer. And listen,
yeah. Because Scott's dad did have to deal with that, so they can be like, her grandfather was doing illegal deals, so she helped us take him down and blah blah blah. Yeah, they could have spun it, but I feel like it's too much. Just too much. Like there would be the plot holes would take too much explaining away. Like you shouldn't have to your fan base shouldn't have to do so much guessing. Well, maybe they did this. Well, maybe they did that. Well, maybe they did this. Maybe your fan base shouldn't be trying to explain away your plot holes. If you make something, it should be this is it. Everything makes sense here. Everything comes full circle. This is this. This is that. Even if it gets complicated at times, at least there's a connection to everything, and everything makes sense.
Listen, if I can't follow the story, there's something wrong with the story.
Exactly. If I'm like, wait a minute, no, you messed up somewhere. So you did something wrong. We should be, when we watch it as consumers, when we watch a product, that product should engross us. You know what I'm saying? We should be in that shit. Plot holes damage that so much because they take us out, because it gives our logical minds a chance to be like, wait a minute, but didn't she just say this to him and then him say that to him, but they just did something that, yeah, it takes your consumer out of your world. And as a film producer, as a writer, anybody that makes entertainment content like movies, film, music, and everything like that, stories and stuff like that, your whole goal is to build a world that your readers, your viewers, your consumers can get lost in. When you have these plot holes, it gives them a moment to come out of that world, and it disconnects them from your world. That's just how I feel about it. I feel like it was not needed. And if they were going to do it, they picked the wrong topic to do it on. Allison died in what, season 3?
Season 4, season 5.
And there's only 6 seasons, you know that, right?
Yes.
And it said 15 years ago?
Yeah.
I gotta look at the math of that. I gotta look at the math on that. But yeah, so you brought back a character that had died 15 years ago. You bring back a character who had died even further back than that.
Well, you also remember she would have been like 16 when she died, like 17, 18 at the oldest,
Mm-hmm.
because they weren't even done with school yet.
Yeah, they were going into their senior year, right?
Senior or junior, one or two.
Yeah, they're going to either their senior or junior year. Yeah, they're going into the senior year because that's when he ends up meeting Kira. Because yeah, but again, there was a lot of bringing back in this movie that didn't need to be there. You brought back a character that had died in like season 3, which that was a dark druid season, I believe. And then you bring back a main character that died 15 years ago. Then you also brought back a villain that actually, I'll be hands down, though Gitsune was the best season to me. It was at least my favorite. And then from what I'm hearing, from what I'm seeing, is like the Gitsune was a fan favorite villain as well.
Well, yeah, we got to see Void Styles, so that was a bonus.
Which you're gonna bring back the Ogitsune, but not bring back Styles? That shit just don't sit right with me. It doesn't. It shouldn't sit right. It shouldn't have sat right with the producers. The Ogitsune and Styles have that connection. They both should have been brought back. And Styles should have took the lead a bit more of a leading role in this. One, he's a fan favorite. And two, it's literally just the fact that you brought back his villain. That wasn't Scott's villain. The Ogitsune is not Scott's villain. That's Styles' villain.
Right? And I can picture them bring Styles back, except that this time they made Styles a shooter.
Right? Right?
Like if he show like he had the Chronicle combat training, like he like combined that with like supernatural shit, like
Exactly, because they try to build Styles to be the druid, the kind of the mage, whatever. He's human, but he can use magic. That's what they try to build him up as, but it never got there. It never went to that point. He was supposed to be Scott's Dean. He was supposed to take, because remember, they were about to kill Deaton. They were about to kill Deaton off early. And they were trying to have him train Styles into being like a druid or whatever to be able to help Scott. But that ended up never happening. So I was like, it would have been dope just to have him come back, like you said, as a shooter, but also be able to, do a little magic here and there.
a word. You think you're invincible? Check out this new bullet, nigga.
Mountain ash to your
or
chest.
or him shooting his way with a 12 gauge through the room like John Wick.
Right?
Like holy water, silver, garlic, mountain ash. Eat this motherfucker.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you thought you was back and free? Nah, I'm still alive, motherfucker.
I'm still alive. I just, and this, the connection that he had with the Ogitsune was just, it felt empty. Because I was thinking that the Ogitsune was going to trick them to reviving Allison and
Possess
her body. Exactly. And possess her instead of Styles. Because why not? He's like, he learned from the last time. Last time he felt like, he's like, damn. He's like, I possessed the wrong one. I possessed the idiot. Let me possess this trained killer.
Right.
But nope. Shit, he didn't possess anyone. No, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He possessed her father. But even then, again, that's what I was thinking, that he possessed her father to talk them into bringing her back, and then from there he would then possess her body. And they would have to then somehow find Allison's soul and bring it back. I don't know. Again, it just didn't make any damn sense to me whatsoever. I did find it kind of that they had fucking Derek's son be fucking werewolf traumatized.
Definitely understandable.
It was understandable. I just found it fucked up. That was like, damn, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I can definitely see it, but damn, that's fucked up.
So, is this new Wolfpack show a spin-off of this, or do
I don't
we know?
I don't know. I've been wanting to look into that and figure out like what it is, because it's made by the same producers, by the same people who made Teen Wolf, and it's no coincidence that it comes out literally the same week that the movie came out. I don't know. I don't know. It'll be, because it takes place in the same area. Like it's still in LA. Because I was thinking, the movies had the forest fires, but that forest fire, the fires weren't as big as I thought, because apparently the premise of Wolfpack is that there's wildfires, and the wildfires drove a werewolf out, or whatever he bit. How the fuck did he manage to bite all of them?
The guys, big
Because
appetite.
there's like four or five. There's
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 of them. So it's like, you know what? Sarah Michelle Gellar could actually be the werewolf in that one.
Stranger things have happened. And I'm
From
thinking that she's
a
gonna have a
vampire
bigger.
to a werewolf.
I'm thinking she's gonna have a bigger presence in the show than what they're portraying anyway.
Well, she's essentially the main character. She's like the apparently she's like some FBI detective or whatever that's looking for the kids or whatever. So she already has a pretty decent role in the show. Like hell, she's the poster. She's the poster for it. Like I barely see any of the kids' faces that are supposed to be the main characters. Oh, there goes the mic. Waiting for her to come back. It will soon. I promise you that. You will get more of the lovely Lord Triage. I'm telling you, you will. You will. See? I told you guys. Told you he'll be back. You didn't want to listen to me. Oh, Power doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, see? No, I know what I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah, no.
Yeah,
She,
so that's what I'm taking from it. I haven't looked at it yet. I might sit
yeah,
down and watch it.
probably, possibly. I don't know, just because I got into like like that werewolf mood. That, yeah, I want to watch something with werewolf, but then I watched the Teen Wolf movie and it just kind of knocked me out of it.
Sitting there like, the fuck is this shit?
I
It's
can't
like
get jiggy with this shit.
it's like watching a trickless magician.
Right? Right? Watch me put a rabbit out of the hat. Sir, I just watched you put the rabbit in the hat. Pick a card, any card. They're Uno cards. What?
No.
The fuck are we playing? Go Fish? But yeah, it was just yeah. It wasn't needed. The movie was not needed whatsoever in any way whatsoever.
I mean, if they plan on giving us another season, or if they plan on
No.
doing like with this, like what they did with Leverage, I could have saw them doing that. But it was just like, why?
Yeah. Yeah. Because again, and which is great. And check it out. So it might be. So the Wolfpack might be a spinoff of Teen Wolf because at the end of the movie, right? When
Right?
they're taking the dude off to supposed to go see his lawyer, but they end up abducting him and taking him off to the Icon house. The dude's like, oh no, I'm telling you, they're all werewolves. They're all teenage werewolves. Ah. He's like, yeah, teenage werewolves, you know. That's the thing about Teen Wolves. There's always another one.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I see what you did there.
I see what you did there. So there's a possibility this might be. It just might be. You know, they originally wanted for the original Teen Wolf series, they wanted to have Michael J. Fox play Scott's father.
They wanted that. Who played Scott's father?
They wanted to bring Michael J. Fox into the show originally.
I did not know that, but I would have supported that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, his Parkinson's, it was too bad, and he wasn't going to be able to do it.
Oh,
yeah,
that'd have been dope.
Yeah. So they really wanted to bring him in on this, but his health conditions prevented it big time. Yeah, but no, like it's Teen Wolf was a good show. I really feel like it got wonky after the Berserkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after the Berserkers. I mean, even then, within the Berserkers, that shit was a little funky. Cause not really looking at that. They were going to Mexico a lot on their own. In high school, they were just taking trips down to Mexico.
My nigga, I'm a werewolf. Ain't no one telling me where I can and can't go.
But they were driving down there on
Yeah,
their own.
I
Like,
was getting across the border, and yeah, you're not wrong.
yeah, I'm just like, I didn't realize, I did realize that in the beginning, but I'm like, all right, I didn't think nothing of it. Because I'm like, well, they're white, so it's not a problem.
Oh
It
my
wasn't.
god.
Apparently, a white man going to Mexico is a lot more believable than a white man coming back from Mexico.
I always thought Scott McCall was Spanish.
No, his mom's white and his dad's whiter. No, my bad. His dad's white and his mom's whiter. His dad's like got to be Italian. His dad's like darker skin Italian. I don't even think there was any Latinas in this show.
Um,
Um,
hmm.
no, there wasn't at all.
Uh, what about the one chick, the one that had the hot head, the one that Liam had to crush on?
Oh, yeah, yep. There you go. There's one, and her sister, who was a cop.
Yes. And then that was another thing. Like they disappeared, they moved away, never saw them again.
Yeah, the one thing about Team Wolf is like the way they wrote characters out and the way they wrote them back in sucked. Literally, you'll just pop up the next season. Yeah, so we broke up and we don't talk anymore, and they just left.
The
Really?
next
They
thing you know,
just
the next thing you know, she hit me talking about how she wants this dick, and then I had to slide over and
yeah, no, that I just can't, bro. The way they were write people out and write people in was just too much. It was too much because they wrote mad people out and then randomly wrote people in sometimes, and it's just like, what? And then like, here's what gets me: Ethan and Aiden try to kill the shit out of them all. Yet Lydia's like, I'll take a piping or two.
yeah, Lydia was getting dick down. She was
She was. She really was.
oh, that was funny. Like, yeah, you're not a bad boy, you're a bad guy. Like, you really killed my one friend who's not really my friend, who we all had class with, and I don't think I can co-sign this shit anymore. And you're against the pack, and the pack is like, my people now. So
But
yeah,
you know what? I think I can bend over a little bit. What? Get out of the closet with the man. Like, she was. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I definitely did. I felt there was like some kind of sexual tension between Lydia and Peter.
yeah. But
Okay,
I
so
I always took that as being a wolf thing.
I don't know. I think Peter was actually. I think the character of Peter was actually like, yeah, yo, what's good? I'll make you scream, type shit. You know, I don't know. I always thought there was like something. I always thought there was something there.
Like,
I always thought there was something
he's that nigga who looks her in her eyes like, yeah, man, had someone put your legs behind your head and fuck all that attitude out of you.
Let's work on. Let's do some vocal exercises. Banshees wail. Well, guess what? Wolves howl. Let's see what we can
Let's
get
see what happens.
working here. Get a whole symphony going.
Yeah, boy.
It's gonna be a full moon tonight.
We boys.
My boy hit it with the all right.
I said, yeah, baby, you're gonna learn today.
Oh, shit with this alpha do. Hit it with the alpha dick. It's wow. She really went for the ones in the power with the power too.
Of course. She was just letting any old dick clap them cheeks.
Seriously, because Ethan and Aiden were both individual. That never sat right with me, anyways.
What?
How are they both alphas? They're twins. Did they both have their own separate pack, even though they were twins?
No, they were both part of the same pack.
Exactly. So how did they both become the alpha? Become a alpha?
Well, that's just like how is it? Remember, you used to be able to join into one body. They never said if they acquired that power before or after. If they did it before, all they had to do was join bodies and kill their pack together and separate.
Oh.
And here's the thing, too. You got to remember, they never said how big or how small a pack can be. Like, their pack could have been like 20, 30 wolves, and they killed them all. Because Ethan said that to Aiden. He's like, yo, we need to get some numbers and get it around us and keep them around us, because with the people we've crossed, people are going to be looking to kill us.
That's true. Or that can mean they had been a part of several packs.
Or that.
Yeah, and they've just and double crossed them all along the way.
Because I mean, let's run down the list real quick. So for Scott McCall's pack, we have Scott himself.
Mm-hmm.
We'll count Styles.
Mm-hmm. You gotta count Styles.
So Allison Argent.
Mm-hmm.
Lydia. I will count what was the one kid? Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
Because Isaac was running with them for a while.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see.
You gotta count Liam. Did you count Liam?
So Liam, so that's 6.
Mm-hmm.
We will count both Aiden and Ethan because they were with them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Theo was trying to work with them, but that he never really fit in. So
I feel like in the end, in the last episode, he did, because Scott he did end up getting in there, because Scott he even though, because he really did want to be a part of Scott's pack. I feel like out of all the bullshit and lying he did, the one truth he told is that he wanted to be a part of his pack.
Okay.
I mean, the end goal was to take the pack, but he wanted to be a part. So I would count Theo, because at the end, Scott turned to him and trusted him to go save his beta, go save Liam,
right,
and his mom. So
okay.
I'd say I'd throw Theo in there.
Okay. So Malia.
Yep. We're at 11 now.
All
11,
right.
11 person pack.
And then the other Chimera, the female one, the one that Liam had a crush on.
Yeah, the Latina chick. Yep.
So,
but was she really though?
I would say yes, because she wound up being embraced by them.
Oh yeah, and they were teaching her and training her about being a wolf, because she ended up becoming like a full wolf in the end or something. That was weird. All right. Yep. So 12.
I mean, Jackson's wasn't technically part of the pack, but he worked in junction with them.
No, we got to count him, because at the end of the show, he did say, when he was talking to the kid, he did say, you know, some of us stay here, are always with us, and then some of us are there when we need them. So he was still considering them a part of the pack. So he was still considering Jackson a part of the pack.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, and I almost forgot. The Hellhound.
Oh, Parrish. Damn, my nigga's pack. That is a stupidly strong pack. Just off of that, you literally have the one supernatural being that could murk every other supernatural being.
And here's another one that I thought was interesting. What was the black kid's name?
Mason.
So Mason was supposed to be the reincarnation of the beast of.
Jelvadan.
Okay.
Jelvadan.
Am I the only one who was a little annoyed that he never figured out or was never gained the ability to tap into that power? Well,
Uh,
I'm not saying he needed to turn into that shadow monster, but
he
he
at
could have,
least needed to be a werewolf. He at least needed to actually be able to be a werewolf.
right?
He needed to be like grandfathered in werewolf.
Or here's
That
another.
definitely bothered me.
And then let's not forget, these aren't the only shit that we saw in that town. Let's not forget that we came across Wendigos. Let's not
I was
forget that we
gonna
saw
say that.
Berserkers. Let's not forget that we saw Were Jaguars.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot the Asian chick who was the Kitsune.
Yep, the kitsune. Yep. Which is now a skinwalker. She's a kitsune and a skinwalker.
So listen, if Scott McCall actually had legitimately kept his pack intact, he had a fucking army behind him.
Oh, we got to add an extra 9 because the kitsune has 9 oni, like unstoppable oni that she can run, that she can use at any time.
Yeah, it was.
Oh! Speaking of that, oh my god, back to the movie. Jeez, bro, what the hell was that shit? Since when can the kitsune give her kitsune to somebody else to protect them?
Oh, her armor, yeah.
Where they do that at? Kira never did that for Scott. And then the question is, all right, if they can do that, when did she do that? I know there's a moment where Scott looked at her and she looked at him, but nothing happened.
It might be one of those things where it was subtly done.
Yeah, but even then, I watched that shit close because I can tell when the certain scenes are important. But there was like their eyes didn't glow or anything to signify that something was going on. They just looked at each other. She just looked at him. He looked at her. I was like, okay, the fuck? They're just looking at each other. Like their eyes should have glowed to signify that, something was going on there. And then when the arrow melted, it'd be like, haha, that's what we were doing the whole time. I don't know. But yeah. So we got yeah, that's wild. Not only that, Styles is in the FBI now.
They made it sound like he was that nigga at Quantico.
Right?
Like, you should be calling your son. Yeah, I'm not going to bother him with this.
Yeah, they made it sound like he was running shit up there. So so even if you take their powers out and you look at what they do, like in general, Scott has the entire Beacons Hill Sheriff Department on his side. Right? He now essentially has the FBI on his side. Like, oh yeah, his dad was in the FBI. His dad's an FBI agent, so he has like this man Scott is powerful beyond what people even really realize. The fact that his pack is like 12, 13 deep
Of all different supernaturals.
exactly. And some of the most powerful supernaturals. Like, come on now. On top of the fact that his best friend is in the FBI and his dad is as well. His best friend's dad runs the sheriff department and the
Well, yeah, them niggas are definitely
He
getting rid of some
running
bodies.
shit.
I'm just saying.
He running shit. Like, that's really fucking insane. And hell, Jackson's a 2-in-1. He's a werewolf and a cannibal, which that really didn't make any sense to me, but I'll take it. How did he describe it in the show? He described it as if it was like a transmission. It could switch back and forth between manual and automatic. So like whenever he wanted, he could use his cannibal powers. He can't fully turn into a cannibal anymore. But and how convenient is that? He doesn't have to worry about he can still has all the werewolf. He can turn into a werewolf. But just so happens his claws secrete paralytic poison, and he has a tail. He's a werewolf with a tail. How convenient is that? I don't know. Yeah, Teen Wolf got to do better. I wish they would have done better, because they had something there. They had a whole cult following, bro. When by the time they ended, they had a whole cult following. Like it's. I wouldn't say it's a cult. The original Teen Wolf movies are cult classics.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say this has a cult. It was not a classic yet. Cult, no classic. Not yet. But I don't think they'll be able to get to classic because of all the shit that they fucked up. But I don't know. Hopefully, I'll do my research. I'll see. We'll see if Wolfpack is really a part of it. And then with that, hopefully shit gets better. Hopefully James Gunn doesn't burn DC to the ground. But yeah, this episode did not go the way we had planned.
It did not.
It did not, but it went good places. It definitely went good places. We'll next show we'll hit y'all with 2 character breakdowns. You know what? No. We did our character breakdown. We did Scott McCall. We broke down Scott McCall. I'll say that we super broke down Scott McCall from Teen Wolf. That's what we did. I'll take that character. It doesn't have to. The character breakdown, guys, doesn't necessarily have to be a superhero or a supervillain. It could be any hero or villain within pop culture. You already know what it is. Pop cultures, movies, superheroes. That's what we do. Comic books. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been your super breakdown. I'm your host, Power Maximus. We're here with Lord Triage. We'll be here the weekend after the Super Bowl because I'm trying to watch the Super Bowl game. We'll be back after the Super Bowl.
I'll watch the commercials.
Yeah, I want to watch the commercials. Yeah. But yes, guys, you already know what it is. Every other Sunday, 6 p.m., between 6 and 7. Again, we were running a little bit late tonight. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Dubby. We got that code going on right now, #TSB2023. Hit their site, everything. Even if you don't want the supplements, or the drink, whatever, they still have other things out there. Like I said, t-shirts, sweaters, stickers, and they're coming out with more stuff as they go. I also pointed out that there is also, if you got heart problems, not trying to really mess with caffeine, they also have this this one right here. I like this one. Monkey Madness hydration blend. Strawberry and bananas. It's caffeine free. So I found that I found that pretty funny. That's pretty cool. But again, like I said, use our discount code, guys, and you get 10% off. Hopefully, you'll like the product. Everything I've been reading, everything I've been hearing has been great response by everybody. So go check it out. And again, if let them know where you got it from. I'll catch you guys next week. We'll catch you next week. We're gonna have some big things going on. So keep in mind we're still trying to get the merch out there too. All of our level 7s. Just keep an eye out, keep an ear to the ground. We're gonna keep rolling, keep pushing through 2023. Here we come.
Yeah, it's our year, man.
It's our year. Year of the nerd. Year of the 7s. All right, you guys. Peace out. Catch you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.